Good afternoon, YouTube. Larry, Toy Maker Larry here. Beautiful day in the 70s. Thought I'd come outside since it's so nice. I really would like to be is in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, where all the get-together was down there at Boswell's. But, oh well. I had no way of getting there, so I'm out here in my yard instead. I did watch the feed until it went dead, the live streaming that Classical Pipes had. And I also watched Classical Pipes in this, I forget who it was last night, they were streaming from the hotel where they were staying down there. And that was fun watching. And then they said they were going to be on this afternoon, so I kept looking, and finally I touched in there about 10 after they had started, and I think it went a little over 30 minutes, and then something happened, I guess. The stream went dead, something happened, which I guess that could happen at any time. I'm very disappointed, and one thing about YouTube I've learned last night, that the way the guys that were talking, you need over 1,000 subs in order to be able to go live. Well, if you want my opinion, that's a crock of shit. It shouldn't be like that. But as we all know, it's all about money on YouTube. And they figure, you know, you got to work your ass off to get 1,000 subs, and then they end up making money off of you because you got so many people watching your videos. And along with advertisements and everything, they're thinking way ahead of the game, and it's going to benefit them, that's for sure. But I think it's ridiculous. In my opinion, anybody ought to be able to go live if that's what they have available. When you go up there and want to do a video, it says go live or do a video. You should be able to do whatever you want to do. But nope, can't do that. They got you right by the you-know-what, unfortunately. Well, it is what it is. I guess I'll just have to do videos instead, that's all. It is what it is, but I thought it was neat though. I didn't know that Boswell's was that big. Big a place, boy, it's huge. So I was talking to my friend, and we are going to go down there. We're probably about 3 hours away from there. So it'll be a ride down there, three and a half hours away. So, but we're going down there before the end of good weather, at least before winter. So I texted him this morning and I said we got to go down there. He's down in Newburgh today doing something. He says, yeah, we got to go down there. I said, you're damn right we do. We better get down there. I've been wanting to go down for years. So bring a couple $100 with me and buy some tobacco or whatever. So I wanted to tell you a little story while I was thinking about coming out and doing the video. But first I want to light up my pipe again. I'm smoking my Cobbettshire here. I got this from Ristacob a couple of years ago, I think it was. And then I got Peter Stokelby's Bullseye Flake. I only smoke flakes in these Cobbetts. This Cobbett I have. Good tobacco. It's a good tobacco, Bullseye Flake. Not bad. It's the best one out of the bunch that I've tried so far. It's better than the English blend. I mean, not the English blend. The Navy Flake blend, and the other one, the Twist Flake, I think it is. This seems to be the best that I like, so. So, I bought 8 ounces of that the last time I got it from Pipes and Scars. To hold me over for the rest of the summer anyway. So the story I wanted to talk about was the story of an event coming up. As you're aware, the Woodstock Music Festival is coming up here in August. It'll be 50 years since '69, the original one in Bethel, which is quite a few, probably I'd say a good, probably hour and a half, 2 hours from here. At least an hour and a half anyway. And that's the original one. It took place in Bethel, but this year is going to be in Watkins Glen. Now, I don't know whereabouts in Watkins Glen, but I'm taking a guess that it's probably the Motor Speedway there. I'm just taking a guess, because that's a big place. They figure they can get a lot of people in there. That's what I'm guessing. Correct me if anybody knows or I'm wrong about that, if you can. And of course, in between the 25th anniversary they had in Saugerties, which is only probably, I'd say 15, 16 miles away from where I live, which is probably about 35 minutes away from where I live. And that happened in August too, in '94. I was real excited about it. I didn't go, but I know people that did go around here. And I remember it was all over the news. And they had these parking areas they set up. They didn't want everybody driving in like they did the original one in Bethel, so they had these designated parking areas in different places. And outside of the village in the town where I live in, they had one parking area there. They had one the next town up. The next town down they had one, and they had one across the river. They had 4 of them, I think. And when you got your tickets, it told you on the ticket where parking area you had to go to and park your car. And they had school buses that used to, and they shuttled the people from the parking areas to the concert site. They constantly went back and forth, the buses. In case you want to leave the concert for a while and you want to go to your car, take a nap or whatever you wanted to do, and then go back, you could do it. And people were going back and forth, doing their thing. A lot of people going up the road, the dogs are barking, what's new? Sorry about that. And we took a ride out because they had vendors at these parking lots too. They were selling Woodstock '94 t-shirts and hats and everything you can think of, you know, related to the music festival. And also I remember that the local cable company had a special for that weekend. And I still have it on VHS in a box upstairs. I must have about 6 VHS tapes, which I should probably get them converted over sometime to CD or whatever. And they had a special for the weekend, $50, and you could see the entire concert on TV. You could watch it. And I was so excited about it, so I says, I'm not going to go, but I'll pay the $50 to see it. And it was pretty neat because they went to the different stages. They had these different stages set up at the concert site. And they went from one to one. You didn't miss any of it, though. Well, during the concert, there was some bad weather. And also I got to tell you that they broke the fence down. And I guess another 100,000 people got in because they broke the fence down, and then they got in and they didn't have to pay for tickets. I think tickets were like $200, $250 a piece or something. I'm not sure. But they were expensive. So these people are going back and forth. Well, the second night, I think it was, or the third night. No, it might have been the last night of it. I'm not sure if they had it 2 nights or 3 nights. I know they had at least 2 nights. We got a lot of rain. There was some big thunderstorms in the area. Well, mind you now, these parking areas, they weren't original parking areas. They man-made these parking areas with gravel or whatever. And then off the gravel, you were on the dirt or whatever, you know. Well, with all the rain, I don't know about the other ones, but the one outside of the town where I live in, it became a mud hole. And what happened was people couldn't get their cars out. They got stuck because of all the rain and the mud, and they stopped spinning their tires and they couldn't get out of the parking area. So a guy I know outside of town who had a couple tractors, him and his buddy got together and they went out and they charged these people $50 a piece to pull each car out, get them on the road so they could go on home. Imagine that, 50 bucks. What a nice payday. They each made in the thousands that day. Just pulling people out of the mud and getting them on their merry way. And there's some other stories about the festival that were curious. They had local car washes. And some people were taking their clothes off and taking a bath at the car washes. That must have been funny. Yeah, a lot of stories float around of what went on at the concert. We could see it on television because, like I said, the concert was recorded live by the local cable company, Mid-Hudson Cable. And a lot of the girls took their tops off, and you could see their you-know-whats on the screen. I remember watching it, and I says, damn, why are they allowing that? But I said to myself, well, I guess when it comes to things like this, anything goes when the whistle blows. And they were passing these girls around with no top on, laying down. They were passing them around the crowd with their arms, like, you know, holding them up. I laughed my ass off. I couldn't believe it. Most of the people there were probably stoned or whatever. And they didn't even go back to Saugerties to have this one because they told them ahead of time, don't ever come back again because we don't want it. Too much stuff happened. Too many things went on and went wrong that they wouldn't hold it again. It was more or less too much of a pain in the ass. There goes some more people up the road with a nice, beautiful day today. People are just out in droves. But that's a little story about the Woodstock Festival in our area, 1994. And it's just too bad that one of my favorites of the festival passed away. He opened up in '94, Joe Cocker. God, I miss that guy. He did some great music, boy. I play his music all the time. He says, I remember he said, when he closed out after opening up he was the first one to go on stage. He says, I'll see you all in 2019. Well, unfortunately, it's never going to happen, so. But he was great, Joe Cocker. Well missed around the world. Yeah. They had a concert up in my area here not too long ago. It's the, and then I'll tell you about this and then I'll get off here. They got this Times Union Center up in Albany. Matter of fact, they held for the girls NCAA quarter or semifinals up there, I think. What, last weekend or the weekend before? Now, Albany's about 45 minutes away from where I live or whatever. And they also have a lot of music events there. Well, they sold out last year. Whenever they announced that they're going to have a Elton John concert on the last world tour. They packed that place a couple weeks ago, I think it was, or so. Maybe 3 weeks ago. They sold that tickets out the day that they announced the concert. Sold out in one day. That's how popular that guy is. I remember listening to him, hell, way back in the 70s when I was in school. Captain Fantastic. Yellow Brick Road. Benny and the Jets. Let's see. Daniel. I don't know what my favorite one is he did. I think Don't Let the Sun Go Down. It's one of my favorites. Of course, he came out with several albums since then, but I still remember that Captain Fantastic. And last week, they had Celine Dion up there from Canada. I bet you that was a good concert, too, so. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you anymore about music, but we got Woodstock coming up in August. Imagine some of you guys, somebody out there is going to be going, but not me. But I still remember that year they had it here. What a mess it was. All that mud. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. And it's going back to normal tomorrow, 50s, I guess. You know, this is just too early for this kind of warm weather. It must be up near 76, 77, somewhere in there. Or hotter even. But enjoy it while you can. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. And don't forget to watch the Boswell meetup if you didn't see it live. Looks like the guys had a great time down there at Boswell, so take care, everybody.